How a restaurateur identified with failure. There once was a man who thought he was about to go broke in the restaurant business. He invited me to eat in his restaurant. When I walked in, I could see one obvious reason why business was not good. His restaurant had such a dismal, uninviting atmosphere. I suggested he brighten it up if he wanted people to come there to relax and to eat. On my way out, I discovered another reason why business was not good. Near the cash register was a joke sign, which read, "This is a non-profit business. We didn't plan for it to be, it just worked out that way." The joke was on that man. He had mentally identified with non-profit, and that was what he had attracted. I suggested he throw away that sign and stop talking about lack if he wanted to prosper. Identification with a certain state of mind will bring that state of mind and affairs to you, so be careful. What you notice, give your attention to, talk about, and get all worked up over emotionally is what you are inviting into your life, whether you mean to or not. Open your mind to receive by noticing, giving attention to, and talking about what you want to bring into your life. Nothing else. How one man made a comeback from illness when he identified with good. I once dined with a famous metaphysician at his hill house overlooking Los Angeles. While on a lecture trip in that area, I was surprised to receive his invitation to dinner because I knew that he had undergone serious surgery just a few weeks previously. Many who knew him were predicting that he was through and that he would be forced to retire because of his health. Nevertheless, when I arrived at his beautiful home for dinner, he greeted me pleasantly. Other friends soon joined us, and we had a happy evening together as we chatted and reminisced about many things. His recent surgery was never mentioned. The state of his health was not discussed. In spite of all the dire predictions, this man made a tremendous comeback in his health and his career. He was soon accepted by an even more prestigious church than he had served. Next, he wrote several books on which he lectured on a round-the-world trip. I had the pleasure serving as one of the guest ministers in his thriving church while he was away. For a number of years thereafter, he continued going strong. He spoke several times a week in his own church and elsewhere. He had a daily radio program, a dial-a-prayer ministry, and on occasion, a television show. He still wrote a book a year. Only 15 years later did he finally retire. When he passed on at the age of 86, he had outlived most of his relatives, friends, and co-workers of long standing. More than 2 decades ago, when everyone said he was through, this man deliberately opened his mind to receive an inflow of health by identifying with the good. He made a comeback when they said it couldn't be done, by concentrating on happy, pleasant things rather than by dwelling on the dreary operations he had just experienced. How to identify with your source. Open your mind to receive by telling God what you want instead of constantly telling people. Telling people what you want can dissipate your good because God is the source of your supply, not people. Although people, ideas, and opportunities are all channels of your supply, God is the source because He creates those ideas and opportunities. Through the law of mind action, He helps attract the appropriate people and circumstances to you to help expedite those ideas and opportunities through which your good can come to pass. A statement you will want to use often to help you identify with the source of your good is this: I do not depend on persons or conditions for my good. God is the source of my supply, and God provides His own amazing channels of good to me now. The first kind of giving. Giving is the first step in receiving. When you want to receive, give. However, there are 3 kinds of giving. All 3 are equally necessary to your long-term growth and success. First, give to God. Put Him first financially. Why? As explained in Buddhism and elsewhere, this is the first quality to be developed in your character on the road to enlightenment. Many conscientious people study self-help methods galore, yet do not receive the benefits from them that they should because they ignore this first step. Various schemes have been suggested for getting rich quick. Most of them fail because they are based on getting, not giving. They have no spiritual basis. The reason many people fail to receive their good in life is because they do not practice giving or returning impersonally to the universe on a systematic basis a portion of all that the universe shares with them. Two businessmen in Chicago once told me they had held the local franchise on one of the most famous success courses in America, one that cost thousands of dollars to take. Though they prospered for a time, they eventually went broke. They finally realized why. Their course had only emphasized getting, not giving. Their course had not taught the spiritual side of prosperity. It had not taught its students to tithe their way to prosperity by returning to the universe a tenth of all they received. It was only after these two businessmen found their way into one of the local New Thought churches and began to put God first financially that their financial affairs stabilized and they began to permanently prosper. When any person withholds that which belongs to the universe, his life is thrown out of balance, and he experiences lack in some form. It may be lack of supply, lack of health, lack of love, lack of spiritual understanding, or lack of direction in his life. It is only as we let go of our littleness that we can expand into the larger life. So it is not enough to say that you believe God is the source of your supply, as previously suggested. You must prove you believe God is the source of your supply by first sharing with Him. This keeps you in touch with the universal source of abundance. The billionaire Solomon pointed out that the wise use this ancient success method. Could mean to you when he advised, honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy vats shall overflow with new wine. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 9 and 10. This success principle is more fully explained and documented in chapter 7 as a method for helping you open your mind to receive. Bible passages quoted herein are from the American Standard Version or the King James Version of the Holy Bible. The second kind of giving. Second, give to yourself. Yes, open your mind to receive by giving to yourself, because all progress begins with self-improvement. It is just as possible to overgive to others as it is to undergive to yourself. Overgiving to others and undergiving to yourself unbalances the law and keeps your good from coming through. You must first give your attention to the improvement and development of yourself before you can possibly help others. You cannot possibly give to others unless you first have something to give. You must first have strength, wisdom, and substance before you can share these qualities with others.